Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, depending on wherever you are. So, yeah, today at night, here it is 9 p.m. IST, and we are going to do some work in the CRM integration that we have been building. Namor is live says, Hello, Guruji. Hello, Bhai Saab. So, yeah, two people are already watching, and we are almost at 8K. That's good. So, let me just close this for now, and we'll see where we were. And if the server is still running, if it is not, yeah, it is still running. So we have the code here. So I was trying to do something. I was not able to much. What I did was, if you go here, lead syncing, and if you remember, you give your token. Token might have expired. Please check your access token. That is nice. My screen is stuck for some reason. Let me just restart the capture. Yep. Yeah, this is what we did, and then access token is invalid. Please check your access token, and then we'll go to Explorer and grab a new token. So let's go there, copy this token, go back, paste it here, fetch account pages, and this pages fetches the pages, and then I have done this. So I just broke them into two columns. Nice. So this is pretty neat user experience till now. And then I can click on create to create this. Facebook lead form must be unique. That is a validation we added. Mm, hmm. So I'm not sure why we added that validation. Maybe because we had some logic in lead sync source. So what I did was, this was off screen. I moved all of the Facebook related functions to a file called facebook.py inside this folder. And now I guess we can say frappe dot get doc. There is a lead, there is a Facebook page, there is a form. I'm not sure why we added that. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Probably we can remove that and we'll see if it causes some issues. Because right now I don't remember why I added that unique validation. It should probably work without it. But yeah, so the better validation would be no two sources can have same form. One of them, if both are enabled, that is a better check because later on we added that enabled thing, right? So what we can do is we can go to crm.localhost 8000 and then refresh this. Go to Facebook lead form and make it not unique, right? And then we will be able to create this from the front end, and then it takes to the update page which I was working on. I didn't do all of it. So for example, this enable checkbox is not working and there is nothing on the page. Okay, but it gets created. So if you see this, and what I want right now is a validation that checks if you are syncing to form the same form twice, because that is very unlikely. So what we can do is we can this is fine. I want to validate. So let's come here. Def validate self dot validate unique FB form. Def validate unique FB form self, if not self dot enable return right? So if this one is not enabled, we don't care. Don't validate anything else. Hi, Akshay. So that is that. And the next step is to be able to check the database for tb.exist. We'll say lead sync source, right? Which is enabled and has the same Facebook lead form. Self.facebook lead form. And this also, even if not enabled, if not self.facebook page, then also doesn't make sense, just return. But yeah, if there is a Facebook lead form and it is enabled, check whether something else is enabled, right? Already exists, already active, let's say active. Validate same, validate same FB form active. Better. So we can do this. Already active. If already active, we will say frappe.throw and frappe.underscore because we want, these are like public facing messages, so we want to translate them before sending on. Uh, active and active. An active lead sync source is already an active lead sync source is already mhm, already enabled for this Facebook lead form. Okay. Okay. Now let's try. So if I disable enable this, no, see, it won't let me enable again because there might be some place where this is already used. See, enable disable is fine. So if I can enable maybe this one. Yep. So enable disable. But if I enable this and then try to enable this, it will say a lead sync source is already enabled for this. Okay, again my screen is stuck. I'm not sure why it is happening. Yeah, this is what I was doing. I don't know how long it has been stuck. If already active, this is what will happen. Okay, and then we tested it because now this is not letting us enable this one. Well, this is enabled, but let's disable that one and enable this one. So yeah, that works. So we refactored some stuff. Let's commit this, this, refactor, disallow to active sources for same form. Yep, that pretty much describes what we did. Earlier it was unique, even if something else is disabled, but now it is fine. So yeah, what was the next step that I was trying to do? So right now from the UI, if you go inside any form, you won't see the form itself. What I want is the mapping table, right? So mapping table is not part of the lead sync source itself. It is part of the form, right? Which is linked here. And we want this in the front end. That's the core feature that I want to achieve by the end of today's live stream, before the end of today's live stream. And if possible, we'll do some cleanup as well. So Sharik has created a grid component in the front end, which I checked, which can help us do this if we have the doc itself, right? So first we'll have to get this lead form in the front end, and then using its properties, we can then get this rendered. And we'll figure out how to make this one section read only and so on and so forth. But that's like the next step of it. Okay, so this is the grid component which comes from controls grid.view, and how it is used is I checked through this. So it takes a field name, right? For our case, it will be called questions. It takes a parent, the parent doc itself, which will fetch from the backend. It takes the doc type, which means the child table doc type, and then it takes the field name, which again will be questions, right? So, no, this is V model, this is the actual data. This is the list itself, and this is the name of the field. Okay, now it makes sense. So let's just copy this piece here and see how we can get those. Okay, so V model. So somehow we want this. We'll say this is form FB form of questions. We can do dot questions as well. Much better. So if you notice, like contributing to an existing product is more like what is actually happening in the product, how have things been done, how what all common components exist, how to reuse those, right? You're not starting everything from scratch. You have some base conventions going on. Like for example, we did the different pages, right? For example, in the settings page, we created a new folder and then we created this files and config files depending on how other parts of the code base are following, right? Similarly, for the grid, I checked how it is used because I know there is a child table in CRM data. So I knew that somewhere in code it might be. And Sharik has done a very good job at creating this common component so I can reuse and maybe he can reuse in the future, right? Yep. So we want it to map to something. And then I want the parent, which will be the FB form itself. Then I want the doc type, which will be, now I'm not sure what will be the, yeah, doc type I know. I know the doc type. We don't have to be very dynamic. The doc type is this. Yep. Parent doc type, that also we know. Facebook lead form. And then I need the parent field name, which is also not dynamic, which is called questions. Yeah, so these three are figured out. Only these two are remaining, which I will fetch using a hmm. So here is where I was stuck because I'm doing it in the edit form. Edit form doesn't have the form name. No, not this. Yeah, this Facebook lead form. Should we fetch it? Let's fetch it. So we'll go to page and then this. So right now I'm fetching it for all, which seems unnecessary, but it is better than I doing this, where I fetch the whole. Anyways, I will have to do this, but for the time being. Next, I want this. Yeah. So let's say, so the thing is use doc, right? I didn't find any uses of it. I did find use document instead. So maybe let's use that one. Instead of Frappe, wise use doc. And then I will say form doc equal to use document Facebook, Facebook lead form, then the name, which will be props dot source data dot Facebook lead form, right? And then this won't be the doc, this will be document, right? So use document if you see, right? Behind the scenes, it might be using something document.js. Hmm. Yeah, it has some more stuff. Maybe useful. So let's keep using it. So how is it used? And then it gives us document, which is used where? Document.doc dot save dot submit. Okay, a lot of things are there. So we are calling it form doc. What else does it give? Yeah, it gives assignees, scripts, nice error, validate, controllers. Oh, nice. So the document itself and also manages caches and then validate error and scripts as well. That is good. That is good actually. But how useful that will be in our case, I'm not sure. Because it won't be in cache. And how do we then see the loading state of it? That is also one thing. Does it give anything? Probably have. Okay, wait a second. What is actually this document cache giving? Create document resource. Nice. So it's ultimately the Frappe UI resource. So what I can do is in this document or form doc, I can call dot loading, etc., etc. So where will I give on success, etc. So this document actually the form doc will pull it here, here. This will be dot doc, dot doc. Yep. Let's see if it worked. Highly unlikely that it works in one go, but let's see. Yep. It's broken. Let's find out why. Use doc is not defined. Where I have used it. Yep. Let's comment it out. Oh, nice. It worked. Wow. Does it change? Yep. Probably we can configure to show and what not to show. Oh, this has this as well. This is cool. school. Nice. So we can say, let's do one thing just to be safe. We if home dog, right? In that case only we will render the grid. This is actually the mapping table, right? Hmm. Now I don't want them to add row, or do I want them to add a row? For now, I'll keep it open. Hi, Anuman. Okay. Oh, okay. Fancy. Hmm. Okay, now like I can get it to work somehow, but the issue is, hmm, the issue is how do I handle this not synced piece, right? So in the backend, we made it an autocomplete field, if I'm not wrong. What was it? In the backend, the child table. Yeah, it was an autocomplete, but hmm, hmm. This is complicated because I don't think the level of customization that is allowed here is same as in the desk, because in desk I can write a script that populates the options and makes it a autocomplete field where there are settings and whatnot. Hmm. And how are we handling this not synced in the backend? Hmm. Facebook, are we even handling it? No. Leads from Facebook. It just gets this and passes it on. So probably if the field doesn't exist, it's just ignoring those fields. So even if a user has a typo here, they won't notice. They will see, okay, why isn't it working? So we need some kind of validation that, okay, these are the fields, and we need this to be a select field. How do I give it options? So, hmm. Can I mold this component to Hi Venkatesh? Oh no. So if it's a link field, it handles it. Add row is handled. Okay, I'm not sure how to go about this now. Edit email template. Yeah. So yeah, I'll focus on this later. Let's just get the form working, which we will need the data to come. Use document, then this becomes the doc type. That's it. So lead sync source doc. Okay. So if the doc is there, we will then render this. What all do we need? Yeah, this we should commonify it somewhere. So we'll do this in source config. Yep. Export const fb source field, and then we will fetch it from LD source field. Now we can reuse it because I didn't want to define it again. It import LB source fields, and I will go here. I will say some div, probably a grid or something like that. Then what I want is same as what we did about here. Yes, let's copy this. Form control will say if below, yeah, this is there. V model will have to do in lead sync source doc. That's it. That should suffice. And now I've got an idea that we can probably add things here which says, okay, only visible if it is not new, right? Something like that. So this should work. Yeah, it works. Okay, I need two more things, which will be, yeah, as I said, right now we need those two things. Lead sync source config will say name. Wait a minute. There is a field thing, right? What does it take as a props? Okay, it takes the field object, which then will require metadata of that doc type. Does form control handle link fields? No, it doesn't. Because the other two fields that I have are link fields. And I don't want to manually manage them. So I want the metadata. Come on. Hmm. Even this is not working. No, wait. That was, I think, actually correct. Yeah, because that is not handled. If I do update source, where is this? It is empty. Okay, okay. Because it is not handled. That is the case. So if I go to email template, edit email template, and go to update template. Oh no, so much. Oh, this is the essence of it. So this is hmm. Maybe what was I thinking? I don't know, too many blockers, but at least I got this working. This update will get it working. No access token. There is some access token. Test 3, no access token. Test 4, no access token. Yeah, delete also works. So let's delete because I'm not able to get anything else done. So I'll just clean stuff up. We need a sync button and we need a better UI for this. What I'm thinking is to maybe not use grid, but then it becomes. I'll have a chat with Sharik on this, how to go about it. Because the first blocker is this child table. I want to control that. Okay, you can only set the fields, right? Second is use meta. I can get meta, I guess. Wait, there is a use meta that I saw somewhere. Get meta or something like that. Meta. Use page meta. No. Get meta. Yep, this one. Meta.js. Okay. So it gets it. There. Okay, it's fine. This is a Frappe function. I don't know about it. What does it do? Probably also gets the customizations, etc. Hmm. So let's get this. We'll get the meta because I want those two fields to be link fields, right? What I will do is I will just, for now, don't worry about the update. I want to get const. How is it used? Get meta. Okay, get meta gives you this functions, get fields, etc. Okay, get fields equal to get meta of lead sync source. Okay. Oh, wait. I don't need the meta. I know the meta. I can hard code the meta even if you can get a field. If I say field, yep, this component, let's get that component. So in any software project, there is this first 90% of the project, right? Which is very okay, smooth flowing, everything goes well. And there is the other 90%, right, which is hard. So we have reached that 90% now. The finishing piece. UX, everything like we'll have to get it good, mergeable. And then I want this field. I'll just use one of it first. What does it take? It takes field.view, field object. Okay. Oh, it has a lot of this inject thing. What if there is no? There is nothing. Okay. Anyways, worth a try. Let's try this. This should be an object. I want the type to be link field. Link. Type to be link. Name is Facebook page. Label is Facebook page. Options is Facebook page. So we can check it out in the source.js. No, .json actually. We could copy it from there, the Facebook page thing. Yep, label and options are the same. So this four things, and this needs field name and field type, I think. Field name, field type. So I'm just hard coding for now. We'll see a better way later. Yep. And then does it have vModel? It should have. vModel lead sync source dot Facebook page. Please work. No, it's broken. One positional argument doc type. We didn't give the doc type. Who needs the doc type? Where is it coming from? Let's try it out. Yeah, this one. It's calling meta. I think this field will only work under certain things. We won't be able to use it as is. Is there a link field? So it takes a doc type, filters, model value, hide me. So how is it used? link. Takes a doc type. Value doc type placeholder. Okay. So let's try that instead now. Component slash control slash this thing. Update, yeah, edit. And instead of this, we want this. So we can say link. Now this won't take this. Top type equal to Facebook feed form. Oh, Facebook page. How much is the time? We don't have much time, so let's quickly get to it. Yep, works. Give it label and everything, but it works. And you can change it as well. What we will do is we will get it from new lead sync source. There was this thing. Yep. Yep. So there was a link field, thankfully. But yeah, we'll have to apply filters here. That only for this page you show the form. Does it have filters? It does take filters. Let's go to filters where the page, I think that is what we called it. Page is this. Okay. If, let's see if it was that easy. Actually, these three are from the same page, so we would never know. We can check that in the request actually. Lead syncing, yep. PWH lead form. And let's check the backend. Search link. Oh, it was a post request, so it won't show up here at least. But it will show up here. Search link, payload. Yep, filters are going through. Nice. So now we have all this and we have update button and enabled, but nothing is being updated yet. But we can at least wire the update. So update will do nothing but I think lead source doc dot. Is there a save? So we'll say check how use document is used, and then document doc dot save. Is there a save? Let's see. Doc dot no, document dot save. Oh, there is a save. I think that is what we want. Where is it? Yep. Dot save dot submit, and this will, I think, where is it? Yep, this is how we'll be able to do. So to pass in null, then on success. On success is a function. So after it is saved, we'll show toast dot. So we haven't imported toast, I guess. So we'll import toast from Frappe UI. Toast. Toast dot success underscore underscore. Well, that is the translation function in the front end. And what I want now is, sync source updated successfully. For enable disabled, we can do it directly without the update click. Yeah, and that is done automatically. But the issue is that whenever this changes, we'll have to change the actual source, because this source is from the list that we fetched, the list resource, and the other source is a different source. So what we can do is we can have a if here as well. Which is here, and then we can say this dot enabled, correct. So if I disable this, nothing happened. Actually, something should have happened. Oh, okay, wait. Because we are not calling, no, so this is something else. So if I update right now, sync source updated successfully, document updated successfully. Why are there two of this? Where is the document updated successfully coming from? Document updated successfully. Huh, where is this coming from? Oh, it's coming from Frappe UI only. So I don't think we'll need a toast as well, or on success or anything like that. You can just call submit and it should work. Nice, there are some abstractions which are pretty good. So if I update without a change, nothing happens. If I enable update, it is enabled. If I disable update, it is disabled. Cool. Now on change of the form, I want this to be changed as well, so that we can do next. But for now, I'm happy. The update is actually working. Now we'll have to do some UX stuff where to make it more robust, in the sense that if someone changes the access token, we want this all to go away and then they start from scratch, right? Or we can leave as is, and we can give a button that validate the token or something like that. So if you change the access token, you again have to validate it, or on update we validate it somehow. But if the access token is changed, you validate. I think that is better. As much as the logic is in backend, I am happy with it. I don't want too much logic in the front end. But this is not being updated, by the way. So if I add, let's say, organizations here, update, it won't be updated because it's a separate doc, separate child table. What we actually will have to do is we'll also have to say form doc dot save dot submit. But now the issue with this is that it will show the toast twice. Mhm. But at least it will work now because if you see this got updated to organizations, which is correct, and then we have the source which also got updated. Cool. So yeah, that we will deal with, but the functionality is correct at least now. So let's do one thing. Let me just go back. We'll start from scratch. Here you come, you give your credentials. If they're wrong, you will say, okay, it doesn't work. I'll get the new credentials from my clipboard history if I'm able to. Copied so much, I don't now remember. Yep, this. Fetch account pages. Select an account page. Select a form. Let's say copy. Create. Lead sync source my FB account 2. Save, child table is gone. And why is that? Reference name, expected value, this, that. Something is not right. Oh, reference name. I think I know what is happening here. This. This has to be a string and probably from the new source. What props are we sending? Yeah, we are making them a string, but somehow it's ending up being an object. If you see a reference name is an object. Where is this reference name and reference time coming from? Hmm. So all in all, this is failing. This. But why? Let's try again. No, we can't because we'll have to again create a new one. Hmm. Oh yeah, this. So we did it once, but okay. Now I'm rethinking the design for now. But yeah, this should work. So if you see, like when it was navigating to the edit form, it was still passing in the objects instead of the ID, which I'm overriding here. Because in this particular page, these are objects. Okay, now it will work. Yeah, it will work. Let's try. Count three, clipboard history, select a page, select a lead gen form. Save. If you see, this now works. So let's commit this. Fix and names IDs instead of objects. Then we'll say update also works now. Yeah, works, but so that is the thing. You get it to it works, and then you do optimize or whatever, like update source. Again, a lot of UX improvements to be done, but I think that's it for today. The major UX improvements that I'm thinking of is this table because I want them to be able to select from a predefined name. Otherwise, it's very error prone. They don't know what a name, what a field is exactly called in CRM. It is better to show a label behind the scenes, do the name, and the next. This can be as they want, and instead of the label, I think we can do something else. So either we create a new component of sorts just for doing this, or we edit this. I'll have a chat about that with Sharik. Second is whenever they change the page, we want this to reset, and they will have to again select a lead from that page itself, right? Okay. Third is if the access token changes. Fourth is how do we know that something is updated? So we want to track if this form is dirty or not, that whether it was touched. And that should be it, I guess. And then we can focus on like the cron job of syncing piece. So tomorrow probably we'll have one more live stream for we'll mostly work on the backend, the syncing piece, and then we'll see how to go about this UX thing. Okay then. Good night. I'll see you. Or good morning if you're just waking up. Have a nice day. Bye bye.